Belshire Vestige.
So here we go. Game number 1, Belshire Vestige, ViBE versus Scarlett. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Belshire Vestige, the red Zerg player, the Canada champion. It is Scarlett. Scarlett's opponent, of course, down in the bottom right, representing a Team Root, recently relocated, I should say, to just outside San Francisco. The America champion, North America runner-up, it is ViBE.
The American Hitman. Ain't that right, Ben? In
ViBE
Ben's eyes, ViBE is probably like...
We can't call him the American Hitman because ViBE lives up to the hype.
You know, in your eyes, ViBE would be like a jack of all trades, master in all of them. That's how you see ViBE. Ain't that right?
Bro, you saw him play paintball. He's like an assassin.
He's good in paintball, he's good in Starcraft. But you would hire him for anything. It was unreal. Why do you love ViBE so much? Where did this all start, man? I think this is worth talking about.
I can back this up a little bit because when way back when StarCraft 2 first came out, the first event I ever went to was MLG Dallas. And I had just started doing my little show, 12 Weeks with the Pros. I was just starting to get my first little successes. People were watching my show, and I was getting some nice, cool support, on Twitter and stuff. And, ViBE was this really exciting, up-and-coming North American Zerg at the time. And I remember standing behind, watching him play at MLG Dallas, and I was too nervous to talk to him. I was just like little nerdling Ben. And I was watching ViBE play, and he played so fast back then. He played between 400 and 500 APM, just keyboard meltingly fast. It was too much APM. He's later said, I played too fast back then. There was no need for that. It was more actions than I could actually use. But it was so cool to see. I mean, you've seen people play that fast, and it's really just a spectacle to behold.
So it just made a really big impression.
It made a huge impression on me, and I always remembered ViBE as the fastest player in North America.
The Usain Bolt of StarCraft.
Exactly.
The fastest man alive.
And it left that impression. I mean, of course, later on, I've had my own successes in my career and got to hang out with ViBE and talk to ViBE. And turns out he's a really great guy.
He is.
He's coached me in the past. He's always given me great advice. He's always been very supportive. And to this day, he's still a guy that I can talk about StarCraft with, and he always seems to value what I have to say, and that makes me feel good too. Like I was talking to him about the Hydraling, Baneling style in Zerg vs. Terran, and then he comes to me at the Red Bull training grounds like, hey man, I've been doing that Hydraling, Baneling style that you were talking about. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, I'm going to use it this weekend. And then he lost like 0-4 against Terrans.
That's something that I happened in the past as well. Whenever players take me serious, it always goes wrong. I feel so bad. Anyway, man, let's focus on the builders a little bit. We saw ViBE taking a much quicker gas than Scarlett. ViBE's already researching speed, while Scarlett has just started mining gas, so it's going to take a little while. ViBE's getting a great scout up over here as well. I am very curious to see if perhaps the Root House already had a little bit of success for his motivation, because with ViBE you never know. Either he's playing Diablo 3 or he's playing StarCraft, and when he plays StarCraft, he often does really well, but he takes his breaks every now and then. But I think being surrounded by the Root boys should be a really good thing for him.
And as long as he's not playing World of Tanks with Druby, he's going to be just fine. It was an excellent scout for ViBE. He managed to see a couple drones hatching, so that lets him know that Scarlett's not doing any sort of crazy all-in off of this. Her gas timing also would have been indicative of that. Behind this
is a lot of gas for ViBE early on, huh?
Huge amount of gas. He's getting a Baneling nest, and we're seeing the first Lings enter production. I think it's going to be ViBE who's putting on the incredibly heavy Ling-Baneling aggression in the early phases of this game on Belshire Vestige. This is something that looks a lot like Targa's ZVZ, if you can remember watching him play.
Targa?
Yeah.
Did you just bring up Targa?
Yeah.
Really? Why is that?
Because he does this mass Ling-Bane style.
What do you know about how Targa plays?
Well, we casted him a lot in the past.
We casted a lot of Targa?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I mean, I love Targa. He's my buddy.
In ASL.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, that's been a while, man.
It's been a while, but I mean, it's...
You're talking Wings of Liberty a year ago right now.
Well, that's what we're seeing.
That is actually true. He did do it quite... I remember that one engagement on Daybreak we even mentioned like as a top 5 player of the day.
No, this is exactly what you're seeing right now. This is completely indicative of how that game that Target played against Chef went.
It's a great scout over here by Scarlett. Scarlett knows exactly what's going on. We already see a massive wall full of evolution chambers, a roach war, and a 3 queens. So while we were discussing target ban, Scarlett is also prepared. This is a lot of bailings though, sweet Jesus, but this can't possibly be cost effective.
Spoiler alert, when you use 17 bailings to kill 3 Evo chambers, you need to do more damage than this. So I think ViBE's going to find himself a little bit behind here. Gets a good scout, sees that the layer's already done, but sadly, I don't think he's going to have an answer for the roach follow-up.
These speedlings in the natural are kind of annoying, but the 3 queens from Scarlett are enough to hold on for now. Scarlett makes some things look so incredibly easy, isn't that crazy?
That's one of the hardest all-ins to defend, and Scarlett just shrugged it off like it was nothing.
Scarlett is still like, alright, here's my great wall of... I don't know if Canada has any great walls, but...
Great Wall of Toronto.
It's the Niagara Falls in evolution chambers.
They have a really large tower in Toronto, the CN Tower.
I know that, man. I was there. ViBE is going, alright, you know, the first time it didn't go very well, I'm going to try to do it again. And then he's like, you know what? I'm not going to try to do it again because 12 bailings for 3 evolution chambers was not completely worth it. ViBE has a crazy amount of speedlings out on the map, but right now he's just not really able to put them into good use. Scarlett is still up 9 workers. And I must say, Ben, we were kind of having, like, on our road to the Blizzard headquarters over here, of course, we were discussing the group a little bit. We were sharing opinions, and we were both kind of in agreement. Like, we don't know what kind of Scarlett is going to show up. How much has CB playing lately? Like, we even heard her talk about the break a couple of times. But so far, this looks rock solid.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. The most impressive thing for me was her ability to determine that ViBE was going to be that aggressive. I don't know what she saw.
Yeah, she saw a couple of links around the map. She had good overlord spread as well, but she never really sent anything into the main to identify the fact that he took both evolution, both extractors pretty early on.
My only guess is that she saw the drone count in the natural. Nice job here by ViBE denying that 3rd expansion. He's going to have to do more things like this. What ViBE has to worry about right now, Kev, is the 1-1 timing that we can see coming. Scarlett's building a lot of roaches. She's getting her +1. And ViBE's invested in no upgrades. He's trying to buy time to get mutas out, but I think we can both see that it's not quite going to line up the way he wants it to.
Well, if he gets a massive run by, he has 2 groups of speedlings out on the map right now. We know that he loves to play like that. You know, looking at the bright side of things, Ben, he did delay this 1-1 timing a little bit by taking out all his evolution chambers.
He did. He did. He slowed it down pretty significantly.
I'm afraid that this run by is not big enough, though. It is an annoying little run by, and it might be able to pick up a queen, might be able to pick up a couple of drones, but I do not feel that this is enough to, you know, put some time or pressure on Scarlett.
A couple of roaches hatching and a couple of roaches coming back should be enough to save the day here. Scarlett does a good job of transferring. There's a second run by, and now it's starting to come together a little bit, but just a little bit of drone micro.
Look at the supplies, man. Sweet Jesus, where did this come from? Meanwhile, all the roaches were knocking on the front door of ViBE, and ViBE realized that this was just not going to work anymore. Ever since that first defense by Scarlett, that was a beautiful